Yeah,
I'd go out there if they had a winter tournaments, because then I could also make an excuse to have a ski vacation out of it. But I don't care to go there in May.
Well, Portland looks sick no matter what. Way better than Seattle.
Portland had them. I mean, it was a nice city, but there was like 5 consecutive streets of I've never seen so many homeless people in my life. No offense to Portland, it's a nice city, but a lot of people were asking me for money, and I was like,
It's
I'm
like
broke too.
that's like any big fucking West Coast city.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, that's what people or some people told me like during Kroby Fest, like just around the venue, there's so many homeless people.
Well, that was the area. Like you chose that area because you had to. Because the first venue
Yeah, yeah,
fucked you
for
over.
sure.
I know how that
isn't
feels. That happened to me at Miles PCR.
Yeah, and it's at the same time it's like like if you go down one direction, like it's like not too bad because like where all the restaurants are and stuff, it's a bit nicer.
Yeah,
But like if you go the other way, then you just go down like crack alley basically.
Crack alley.
I felt safe. I didn't feel in danger.
That's good.
Well, we're gonna talk about this guy, good old
Yeah.
Chris.
Oh man.
This guy.
You want to talk about yourself, Chris? Can you tell us about your year?
Do I have to? All right. Well, I I felt like at least from my perspective, it felt like a kind of inconsistent year for me. Like but like at the same time I did end up ranked 30 again. So I don't know what that says necessarily like but given how like people shifted around me and like, who's above me and stuff like that, I guess like it's hard to say if it's like really a gain or a loss. So I don't know. I'm still like happy to be around here, I think I had you know, I underperformed at SmashCon, but I think the other two tournaments I went to, I did reasonably well at them, particularly near the end of the brackets.
I think if you didn't go to SmashCon, you would be like 27 minimum.
Yeah, I just had like a good chunk of losses at SmashCon. It was unfortunate.
Yeah, because your Crowley Fest and your Battle of the Border were great. They were not just good; they were great. Like you only lost to Frey. You traded sets with Crowley. You know, you at Battle of the Border you beat um, LD, which was a great win. You didn't lose the worst two people you lost there were Blankhead and Frank. Not bad losses at all. Like
I
you
lost
would
to
have like
Sombrero as well.
you did. Who's
Yep.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see this now. Okay.
Yeah, but at least like again, like compared to I guess some of the people who are like ranked like right below me, like I only lost to like ranked players. Like unlike Waxy who like only lost to like everybody.
I
There's
lost
only
only EP enough. EP enough.
that just shows like yeah, he's only one spot below me, but like, like I didn't lose to anybody who was like unranked. Besides like the hidden boss, Sombrero, I guess, but
That's true. Even your SmashCon, you only lost to ranked players, and the worst player at SmashCon was like Killer.
yeah, like I just felt like, throughout the year I was pretty 50-50 on the Kirby matchup. Like no matter who I faced pretty much, I was just like there's like a good chunk of them like was feeling good like, I beat what was it, like Box and like Danky and whoever, like
Do you think
like
Sam
Alexi
has a
Jones and stuff.
50-50 shot to clap you up next time?
Depends, bro. Like yeah, cause like the other half, like it's like Sombrero, Killer, and Quapples. Like it was rough. Although to be fair, the Killer set, like so that was my last set of my D1 pool, and like right before my set, like Shears was kind of just like yelling out results for pools and stuff, and like he just like said like blatantly to me that like that, oh, you're not making it out. Like, and I hadn't played my set versus Killer yet, so I was like, oh, So like no matter what I did, like I would have lost out anyway, even if I beat him. So the wind was just kind of taken out of my sails at that point, unfortunately.
What's the plan against Kirby going forward this year?
I just really need to like work on I think like having more of a plan in that matchup. Like I think this year I really tried to go like Falcon versus just about every Kirby I could, and again, it worked out like half the time, but even when I went Pika, it didn't always work out. So I think like I want to try and work on maybe refining the Pika a bit more.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, but at the same time, when my Falcon's feeling it, like it's pretty good. It's pretty satisfying to beat Kirby's and stuff. Like at Battle of the Border, like I was like in the D1 pool, I was practicing the Falcon a bit. Like I played it versus like Dr. Sauce and stuff, and then afterwards, I asked Andy like, "Hey, I'm thinking versus Box, I'm gonna go Falcon," and he just told me like, "I don't think that's a good idea, bro. I don't recommend it." I decided not to listen to Andy, and it ended up working out for me because I was able to take the set with just Falcon first box, so that felt pretty good.
I think that was the first Falcon he's lost to as a Kirby too. So pretty cool win. Outside of like online Frey set, I think, but as far as on console. Interesting.
Yeah. There's like I am happy with some of the wins I got, but it's just like it's hard to shake the feeling of like, oh, I could have done like a lot better, like not to try and put you on the spot, but like if I beat like dogs, that would have been like crazy, I think. Or I also had a close set with Hero Pie. If I got those like wins, I think I could have been higher if I got those under the belt. But as it stands, it was still like I still did all right, all things considered.
Were either of your Hero Pie sets or your LD set recorded?
Unfortunately, no. Well, like the Hero Pie set that was in top 8, that was on like Huntsman's recording setup, but that
Ugh.
I think got corrupted, so I don't think we'll be
Yeah.
seeing that.
It exploded.
It sucks.
Well, on to Antoine. Florida
Well,
Legend.
nobody has anything else to say about me. All right, I see how it is.
Hey, man.
I said a
yeah,
lot.
I felt like you
Yeah,
summed it up,
you
man.
did, yeah. All right. Yeah, we can move on. We can move on to Antoine.
I
We
mean,
can-
beating LD is fucking
Yeah,
sick.
we just talk about your LD set for a bit, then we'll get some more context on that.
So I just like because we're playing so late, right? We just like it wasn't recorded, obviously. We just played it like the setup that LD liked the most. So I decided to abide by his wishes, and I went to all Kirby versus him because that's just like my default choice versus Foxes now. And it was pretty back and forth. Like I want to say, like like I took the first game, then like he took the next. Kind of just went back and forth after that. I want to say like pretty much all the games I won were like 2 stocks, and then like the ones he won were like last stock games. And I think really one of the, I think like one of the deciding factors in that set was like he basically almost like never recovered versus me. Like I think like almost every time he was off stage, I killed him, which I know like the LD stereotype is he's unedge guardable, but it just didn't really happen much in our set. So I think that was one of the deciding factors.
Why? Why were you so good at edge guarding him?
I just, from what I remember, I think I just like called him out like so many times. Like if I got him off stage like at an early percent where like he's kind of close and he's forced to like jump towards the stage, like I feel like I just kind of called out where he was going with like a back air, and then like at that point he doesn't really have many other options of what he can do. So you can kind of just lay another move on top of his up B. So
proactive positioning.
yeah.
I
From
will
what I
say
remember,
against
pretty much,
Fox, like you kind of need those edge guards to be locked in, especially when one's as good as LD. So it's not surprising that's kind of what decided the set, probably. Well, anything else on Chris?
I think I've said enough about myself. So
All right. On to Antoine 420. Look at these wins, man. He got himself a good resume this year.
I was really happy to see him do so well. I did not even like realize how high he would be ranked until we started doing the rankings like in December.
Yeah.
And I saw, I was like, oh hell yeah, like let's go, Ant. Like super good year.
Yeah, really good year. Definitely those low and Hero Pie wins. I don't hard for anyone to call like I guess players like around this range to take sets like that, but very good for Ant.
yeah, he Antoine really popped off at SmashCon, like he like collected a lot of wins during that tournament.
He beat
And
both Hero Pie and Low at SmashCon, yeah?
No,
Hero
he
Pie
had
was at
Smashtober.
Smashtoberfest. Low
Oh.
was at SmashCon.
yeah, and I think just his I think for a while his like consistency factor was just one of his downfalls in like some previous years, but it felt like this year he really kind of like dialed it down and yeah, focused in a lot more.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look at his worst losses are Andy and Wolf. Like that's pretty solid. Like
Our set was weird too. ETAB shook him up so bad that he switched off Yoshi against me and went like Puff and Fox. So
Puff.
it was really bizarre. I was like, whatever, man. He did that to himself though, so yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad like that kind of thing didn't happen too much with him. Besides that, like he didn't really seem to get like shook up too much after sets like that. So
Yeah, I mean,
No.
Oceanfront was his first tournament of the year, and it was probably his worst tournament. And he just kind of locked in after that, like you were saying, because he had a good, I think he had a solid Keystone, was it? Like, I think he probably wants that Wolf set back. His Kilroy was good too. I think he might have traded sets with Beef there.
I think so.
And then he just had a really, really good SmashCon, which was very close to being a even better SmashCon with
yeah,
this
that
guy
Alvin
right here.
set, that Alvin said
Alvin set.
was pretty nuts. I mean, we can thank Shears for how it went down, right?
Should I tell the story?
Yeah, yeah. Were you there when it happened?
So I came there right as the game 3 happened.
Yeah, take it
So
away.
yeah, so he was up. Ant was up. Actually, I believe it was 2-1 Yoshi Pika, and after Ant wins the second game, he like decisively won the second or third game, wherever he was up 2-1 or 2-0, and Shears goes up to Alvin. Nobody's really cheering for Alvin. Nobody's on Alvin's side. People are like, "Holy shit, Antoine's gonna be Alvin," and Shears goes up and tells him to go Falcon. He's like, "Why don't you go Falcon?" And Alvin's like thinks about it for a little bit. He's like, "Eh." And she was like, "You should go Falcon." And then he switches to Falcon, and just Antoine does not like that matchup. He does not like Yoshi Falcon, and he proceeds to get kind of handled by Alvin. And Antoine was so upset about it because he felt like Shears is his friend. Why would Shears tell him to like tell Alvin to switch and all that? He couldn't even enjoy the Isaiah win SSC. That's how salty he was.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I talked to Cheers a bit about it today, and he basically said he wanted a game 5 and that it was still winnable for Antoine. But I was like, why are you coaching a player that's like kind of top 10 every year? I don't think he really needs that. Just wild though.
He just did not want Antoine to win, bro.
I mean, maybe it's just like you can like feel bad for somebody who like has already lost to like I don't know, not so great players like Waxy and KOK, and you're like, oh man, it's so sad to see Alvin washed up. Let's help him out with give him good advice.
yeah,
I'm joking about KOK and Waxy, by the way.
that's understandable. I mean, I don't know like how like Alvin's like emotional status was during that tournament. If he was like really feeling down on himself for losing some of those sets, it's hard for me to say exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't help when you have someone standing by ready to deduct legacy points, you know?
So historically, the South American players are not good with crowds rooting against them when they're not on their home turf. So since that blast with Tabamono and Shears being Tabamono, who's significantly better than him, but like getting nervous with people yelling behind him, and then Alvin Alvin just thinks the field is so much better that he got very discouraged quickly before the tournament started at SSC. He Robert Mustache translated for me before, like the day before bracket, actually 2 days before bracket, and Alvin said that he didn't think that he would make top 8, and he didn't. He got 9th.
It's a tough tournament.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw him at Inkfest too. Alvin did work. Alvin
Yeah,
looked real good there.
he really locked in there. We'll
But
get to him in a couple days, but
yeah,
it seemed like he had a very I think he could have moved on to finals too if he approached the set with Nax a little differently.
I think
But
so.
definitely in the realm of possibility.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it looks like Antoine had well, not necessarily a problem with Kirby's, but I think Quapples and Wolf are definitely some players he could beat, but his peak is still a little young.
Yeah, I think the set with Wolf was when like his peak was really young at Keystone, so that could be kind of like you could there's that. But like Quapple's also kind of like popped off at SmashCon a little bit himself, so
Yeah, he had a
yeah,
really
that's
good
that's
Smash
that's
Con.
not yeah, cause like it's not too bad of a loss really. So
Yeah, and some good traded sets otherwise with like ETAB and Beef. Some little mini rivalries there, I think.
The Antoine Beef rivalry is really good. They go back and forth so much, and they're so tired of losing to each other. Whenever I talk to both of them about it, they're just like, "I really do not want to lose them anymore."
Man. Well, I guess on to CTG. Perhaps the best placing Puff on the year. With some big wins over Dogs and She-Man this year. And Chars. I think Chars is a very, very strong one in this range as well.
Yeah, Charles did beat KD at San Georgians.
yeah, I was about to say, especially considering how like like if you watch the game, like how like sort of much he won by like versus KD3's Puff, like is very impressive. CTG like 3-0 Chars.
Yeah. Like when I talked to CTG about the set, he told me that it seemed like Chars didn't have like the best approach to edge guarding Puff, so he probably just really wasn't used to it. And he was just able to kind of get back free every time if like he didn't outright kill him, which helped him out a lot. That's another symptom of Peruvian players being a little weak outside of top few, like just being so incredibly strong at like against the top tiers, and it kind of falls off when you get to the mid tiers.
Yeah, it is kind of one of those like stereotypical things, but it is kind of true, honestly.
And it shows up like every year, so it is
Yeah.
what it is.
But CTG, like I mean, he's been around for so long. He always seems to show up, no matter what tournament he goes to, for the most part. Got some real good wins under his belt. Some of the losses, like I mean, we talked about it a few weeks ago, but PYT is insanely strong versus Puff. So, the fact, but the fact he was able to beat CTG is very impressive.
Yeah.
There's
Like-
some decent. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, looking at last year, it looked like I'd say like 2022, it seemed like he wasn't as locked in as we're used to seeing him. And he kind of brought back his old form this year, is what it felt like, and started knocking down some of those top players again, and at least like playing real close to some of them that he lost to as well.
That
Like
was a big theme this year. Older players like polishing up their skills again and like returning to form.
Not getting shit on for a little bit.
Yeah, what up, EPAD?
What's up, dudes?
So,
Good to have you.
I was
How's
gonna
the
say
ranking discussion going.
pretty good. I wanted to make a point that Melee Puff and 64 Puff have like a bit of a parallel of them just being a character that you could never really count out, and the fear factor of like just that very sudden death Like, sure, a lot of characters have like some 2-hit combos, 3-hit combos in this game, but Puff has like 2-hit combos anywhere on the stage. So like it can feel really scary and neutral. Like that you have to play neutral even more precisely because of the speed in which the stock is taken once you lose neutral, which can make you nervous and space differently. Do an escape option that wasn't so good. That CTG is so refined at snuffing out and getting you for. Like he reads people's fears so well compared to all the compared to just Puffs in general. Like he's just that's like his like like that's just like one of his things. Like that's the reason why he's so successful. I think is that he's so good at calling out people's escape options in the corner.
These are
Yeah,
very
and he's
strong
very
wins.
hard to. He's really hard to pin down. I think too. Like he's definitely one of the Puff mains that like will really exhaust all his resources or really as many as it takes to get in. Um, and he's very selective about his landing options as well.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely not anyone you can underestimate.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, those are really good wins, man. I did not know the wins that CTG had this year, and these are very strong,
Yeah.
especially
Good.
the top 5 of them.
Yeah, especially with
6,
the years
7,
they had, right?
8, even with Quapples and JPX, Hotline, Danky, like those aren't easy players to beat.
Even like the Huntsman one, like a lot of Fox players very good at the Puff matchup, and kind of speaks
Yeah.
to CTG skill to be able to stop a player like that.
Yeah, that's very impressive. Good job, CTG, this year for sure.
The veterans will remember how close he was to beating the Z's Fox at
Yeah.
Literally
sure,
one
yeah.
miss move, like he had the dub. It's crazy.
Legendary set. But then you watch LD versus CTG at Smash Overfest 2022, and he literally beats him with Shines. 3 stocks him with Shines only.
Yeah, and he's beaten LD before though. It's kind of wild to think about.
Yeah, but I think CTG was a little unpracticed for that tournament, I think.
I think so too.
Maybe he wasn't ready,
Yeah.
I don't know. But obviously he needs to speak for himself, but
Yeah,
I mean,
that
and
was
he
a
made the
while
point.
ago too.
Yeah, and he made the point that he looked like a different player from 2022 to this year.
Yeah.
hey guys, sorry, this is a little off topic, but when is the weekend of Keystone?
It should be like March 17th, whatever the closest weekend to that is.
Third
Yeah,
weekend of March?
16th, March 16th, the
Yeah.
third weekend.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Nothing wrong with that. Nice little plug, you know. It's going to be the next major.
Yeah, like
If you want to appear on this list, go to that tournament, beat this guy.
and beat multiple top ranked players.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to do.
Should be able to coast to top 8 if you're in chat, I believe.
Goes to top 8.
Just like he did at Smash Overfest.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like that was a shot.
What? No, I was proud of you, dude.
I did coast to top 8. I got the freest kids in my bracket. Clip it. Send it to OJ.
Send it to Quincy.
They might be listening.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
not him, not him, not him. Actually, fuck it. Send it to both of them.
No, he's chill too now. I talked to him at Inkafest. Let's are we good on CTG?
Yeah, we can move on to
Ooh,
Take, I think it is.
this is the one I want to see. I like this because who's Take? Where is he from?
Take is an Eastern European player.
Nice.
Is this the Dominican Republic Yoshi? This guy's pretty good.
Yeah. No, so Take.
83 right off the hop.
Yeah,
Who is this
Take.
I don't know if anyone else has like woken up in the morning, checked Twitch, and Take's just like grinding against like Wario and Kyosuke. It hasn't happened as much recently, but just feel like, oh, there you go. It's just taking games off Kyosuke with Yoshi.
Yeah, he's like the L-Man
man's
of
a
Japan,
grinder.
you know?
Yeah.
Or at least not so much
Don't
anymore.
say
'cause-
that.
But yeah.
L-Man is a special breed.
So I was kind of shocked to see that Take performed fairly similar to the year before. Going into 2022, Take was somebody I was a bit nervous to play against because I saw him get so much better on his Twitter clips and, like you said, his streams. And I thought that trend would continue. And it did. He did improve. Getting 17th at SSC 2023 is much harder than getting 17th at SSC 2022. Like the level of play was significantly higher.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be a bit more, to be honest. If I'm just being completely genuine, I wonder how much that is to do with practicing so much on net play, as Yoshi is somebody who's significantly different on net play. But at the same time, I think everybody gets one frame in Japan. It's such
They
a
do, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, they could
Damn
also
near
be said
close
like
to it, if not.
they could also be said like like the version differences as well. But I know they do practice U version like before coming here.
Yeah.
Like some of his losses, I think I peeked at him before, were really down to the wire as well. Like
Yeah, if you watch
his natty
that-
set was a 2-3, his kick
That
set was
natty
a
set-
2-3,
that
and his
natty set was
mercy set
insane.
was a 2-3. So just kind of a game away from having like a much stronger year, like in multiple sets, which is usually the story of SmashCon for a lot of players. But
Yeah,
he
that
definitely still
natty-
proved himself with like KD Tacos, Reichu Wen, and
Losses to
beating
Natty.
Quapples with Yoshi is
Yeah, that natty
strong as well.
that natty set was like absolutely bonkers. If you watch that, like it was very fast, very back and forth.
That one was recorded,
that just proves how good Natty is.
Yeah,
Natty
and then like
practices all the time with She-Man, so that like
Yeah, that
was
gives him
not
good
yeah.
super surprising to me. But
yeah, but like I'm a little surprised that Joshi was able to take him out. Yeah. I
Yeah,
like, good on
Joshi
him,
can
I'm not
feel a
surprised.
little
I'm not
shaky
surprised.
against
I mean, like,
Yoshi at times, but he's
yeah.
just still fundamentally such a strong player.
That
Like,
Yoshi Take set is actually a really good set. I would like to watch. I never watched it, but I'd be interested in seeing
Yeah,
that.
this is like I've seen like him like play versus other Yoshis. Like he played versus She-Man and JPX a couple times as well. And I guess like from my perspective, like I feel like playing against a Yoshi that plays like Take would be more difficult than one like She-Man, even though like She-Man is seen as better. Yeah, but that's just me. I mean, like good on like Joshi for being able to take him out. So
I want to make a point about mentality too. I don't know Take very well. I haven't like talked to him extensively about competing, but from just looking at his body language and like translating some stuff on Twitter and him translating stuff on Twitter, he seems like a much more emotional player than She-Man. And just in terms of like being able to just like emotionally regulate. She-Man, he's also an emotional player, but he's very good at emotionally regulating. And then Take will voice his frustration with Falcon quite often. So I wonder how much of like playing against the Joshi like Kirby and just like Kirby Yoshi is such bullshit. This is annoying. Like
that's
I wonder
true,
if he
yeah.
thinks that at all. Maybe he doesn't, but
From what I've gathered, like it does seem like he's this kind of player where the emotions can get to him and start to affect his gameplay a little bit because he plays very fast. Like he's a very technical Yoshi, so that when stuff like that, when your mentality's a bit like off, it can affect your gameplay like more than somebody like She-Man who plays a bit more like calculated and slower than the way Take plays, I guess.
I could see that. Like I said, we don't know if this is true, but this is just speculation.
Yeah, this is my perspective. Although like and then
Also,
the Waxy, Waxy, you're still in here.
Yeah, yeah.
Why don't you tell us about that set, like the Waxy Take set?
So I was actually about to get 2-0'd really quickly. I was down 4 stocks to 1 game 2, I believe, and I just came back, and then the third game I was pretty much like confidently beat him. So I feel like that could go along with what Dogs is saying with emotional. That might have fucked him up losing game 2.
all the emotional stuff. Yeah. Sorry guys, before
Man.
you continue, like you got to remember that Take is a newer player, so that can
True.
that can definitely affect a lot. not
Brothers
newer,
Hayward.
but he's not like really OG. Like his first SmashCon was what, 2 years ago?
It was 2018.
19.
2018.
Oh, it's 18. Okay.
He's
Was it
2018.
been,
really?
he's been playing for a while. Yeah, it was.
I don't
Well,
believe
six
you.
6 years compared to like Waxy's 8 years. That's still
Yeah,
like,
or like some other
that's fair
guys who've
enough,
been playing
yeah.
since like not newer.
Not
but
everyone's only been
new-ish.
playing for 2 months like you, Epad. You know.
Yeah, I've been playing for 6 months. You know,
There's also like the factor
Not
of like
special.
how respectful the audience is when you play in Japan. There's the factor of what is it? I just have this little tip right now.
2 months.
It's got to be like some culture shock, right? If you're coming over
Oh,
here and just
yeah,
seeing
yeah,
how rowdy
exactly.
we
You're
are.
playing. You're playing out of your element. Like it's not like the most comfortable thing. There's more pressure. You come all the way from Japan. You spend all this money to compete. You only have this one shot a year. The pressure is more like
It's
you definitely have
massive.
more pressure as an international player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
just
massive. Like just
And
flying
every-
that long.
And you're
Every
playing a
tournament
super
you
technical
go to-
character that has such a small margin for error. Like all those things
Yeah.
together. Like I could see that being a mental.
yeah, I just confirmed he went to SmashCon 2018. So he's been
How did
playing
he
since
place?
at least he got like 50 seconds.
Yeah, so he was newer
That's
at that
around-
point. So
But that's around where like people like Beef were like placing at that time. So like comparatively speaking, he was around that skill.
Japan was so much better than everywhere else in that
Beef
year.
plays 50 at an SSC.
Yeah,
Beef
like the
historically
people
has had a poor SSC results. It took him until
the-
this year to get top 32.
Yeah, like the people who were placing around Take at that time were like Raichu, Madrush, DFX, MHJ, Beef.
Man,
Those
I
are,
wish I
like, the
played at
people
that
around.
time. That was free.
But
Yes,
You did. It was 6 months ago.
no, I could definitely. I mean, again, it's a purely like speculation thing, but I can see how playing against, especially characters like Falcon and Puff, where like you can just like die at any second sometimes. If you make a few two wrong errors, I could see that like getting like to somebody's head. Like with that Waxy set where like he like lost like a 4-1 game.
It's
Yeah,
a
I can
see
momentum
that,
shift.
upside
It
down.
I
does
mean,
happen.
Yoshi
It
gets
happens
like
in
30
sports.
frames of invincibility like per second, so it's not too bad. It's got to get over it.
Yeah, still good wins despite that. KD3 is insane. Tacos had a really good SSC, so that's a phenomenal win as well. And Tacos plays Yoshi, so he knows like a lot of tricks of the trade. So I think that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Raichu wins pretty strong too. Quapples twice. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine Raichu's like pretty strong with that matchup, but I'm wondering if that one was recorded.
What was it, Yoshi Ness? Probably.
It,
I
it,
would
it definitely
assume
was.
so.
It definitely was. Yeah.
Most Ness mains lock in Ness against Yoshi.
They'll usually switch when they lose to like maybe a Kirby.
No, Raichu's not switching for Yoshi, bro. Like the only time he plays another character is versus like Kirby and Puff, really.
Yeah. And maybe Pika. If it's
No,
really,
he-
really pressed. But
No, he loves Ness Pika, bro.
really.
Yeah, it's the same with like me and Frey. Like we really like playing against Pikas as Ness.
those OP tech traces, bro.
Didn't he lock
Bro.
in? Didn't he lock in Ness against Yui pad?
He did, but I don't know if it was the right choice.
That's the matchup he likes, bro. That's the matchup he likes to play.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right choice.
Was the set recorded? Like, you guys can watch it back. It was.
I don't remember where it is, but I remember watching on stream. But yeah.
I was gonna make a horrible American joke, but we'll save that for the doghouse.
Fuck you, Pat.
No, it had nothing to do with like Smash America.
All right, we're moving
It
on.
was
To
like,
I just wanted to say fuck you.
we're moving on to Baby Caleb.
Baby Caleb.
Ooh, TDC would represent. Okay, can we just say we've seen 4 TDC members already at this point? TDC really fucking good.
Yeah. If you play at 4 a.m., you're guaranteed a good ranking, I guess.
True. You have to train up for just like the most unoptimal like conditions to compete in, and that's what TDC is about. You're gonna
That's
get 2 hours of
That's what you have to
sleep.
do. That's what you have to do for Battle of the Border. Like, just prepare for that.
Bro,
Exactly.
I thought you guys did so well.
Such a mess.
Sadly, Boom will not have the TDC logo on his player card, but he is honorary TDC. He's come in there so many times at Legion hours. I may want
So,
though.
so Caleb, I think, is one of those players that just kind of farms what we consider the mid level
Mid-level.
of the state.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of these losses, considering, are a little surprising, but the volume of wins is like so insane that like it doesn't matter too much.
His SmashCon was pretty questionable at times, despite him placing high at that. Like he had a couple losses here and there, like to Frank, Let's Go, Kaoken. They're a bit of a eyebrow raising, but given how like most of them had like good SSCs as well, you know, it's hard to fault Caleb too much for them. Although like with D1 though, maybe you could tell the story, dog, so I don't like mess up. But I remember you
he
mentioning
thought he was out.
he like played his first 4 sets of his D1 pool he lost his first 4 sets, and then he like thought he was out. Like, do you want to just go into that, dog?
Yeah, so he thought that the progressions were the same from previous divisions, but for D1, everybody makes it out besides the very bottom person. The next bottom 2 play wild card. He did not know this. He lost, like you said, he lost like the first 3 or 4, and he played me, and he went Falcon. He didn't even like go Kirby. Like usually we have this like intricate like counterpick thing. I was fully expecting the Falcon. So, or I was fully expecting like Pika or Kirby. I thought it was going to be Pika. I thought it was going to be a mind game into Pika, so I went Falcon. He Falcon did with me. I had like a solid strat, but like he didn't. I didn't feel like his. I don't know, his force of will, I guess you could call it. And then game 2 happened, and I was like, all right, he's gonna adapt. And then it was like worse for him. And I was like, what the fuck was that? He just like sandbag against me. And I asked him like, what are you doing? Like, why didn't you counterpick me? Like, what's going on? Why did you continue the Falcon Ditto? And he's like, I'm out, bro. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're not even close out. He's like, yeah, I lost to 4 people. And I'm like, dude, that's not the way it works in D1. Like, you're totally not out. Like, you should try. He had already played against, he had already played against Frank, but Frank was like the 3rd person. So after he lost the first 2, one of them being like, probably who's on here. I don't know who it was, but he was disheartened. So I think the Frank loss was probably related to his.
Who the fuck is Cinnamon Roll?
Depression. You know what that's about.
Oh, Caleb. Wait, what? Oh, okay, I got it.
So yeah, I mean, to be fair though, I think Frank definitely a capable player of beating Caleb, even like when Caleb's like pretty on. So I don't know if that was before or after he got really pessimistic. So no disrespect at all to Frank. Like I think he could.
Yeah. So that I mean that was in D1 though. I mean like the Let's Go and Kaoken ones were in D2, so those
Right.
those were legit. Yeah.
Those were legit. Also,
Caleb
like
lost to Let's Go in Division 2.
Caleb could have beaten me in D1 too because he had beaten me game 5 set last stock as Andy Origins.
Is there a recording for this Let's Go set? Like, did
there,
Let's Go just
there is, yeah. It's on YouTube, yeah.
like how cracked did he play? Like that is unreal.
I remember in the first game, Let's Go made a 3 stock to 1 comeback on Caleb.
Yeah, sometimes those foxes, man, they just dial in and you can't hit him.
But I mean, I don't know, like that one was weird watching it. Like Caleb kept trying to like cheese Let's Go with his like upbeat edge cancel like stuff near the ledge. Like he just kept trying to do that versus Let's Go for like way too long, but he just wasn't biting, you know. So
Let's Go doesn't fall for a lot of baits, so
that was just super weird. But it was super weird seeing that because Caleb just kept trying to do it over and over again. He wasn't even really trying to play like the match.
yeah.
Sometimes Caleb gets some weird autopilot habits, and he's just like, "I'm gonna jam
Yeah.
my shit. I know I can jam my shit," and then it doesn't work.
And then for the Kaoken one, I don't remember that set exactly. I think he just got falconed. So, yeah.
Like I will say that Caleb has some of the best like face roll autopiloting in the game. Like he can probably beat like so many players by not thinking too hard about it.
I think Wizzy and him are similar in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it might I think it just hurts him a little bit when he plays some people who might be a little ready for it and maybe he's just not adjusting quick enough when he runs into that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, like Let's Go and like further down that Krovi. I mean, both of them they weren't falling for it.
I mean, his set with Krovi was super winnable. He was up 2-0
Yeah.
on him.
Oh yeah, like Krovi did make the comeback on that one. Yeah, but
I was going.
yeah.
I did also want to say that I don't mean this in like a mean way or like shiitake way, but Caleb can be quite like confident in himself to the point that you could call it arrogance. And I could see him definitely going into the set with KO Ken and Let's Go, being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna like roll over this guy. Like it's gonna be free." And then it like they start winning and it's not going his way, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And instead of adapting, get slightly flustered, and then you could lose the set. It was best of 3 too, so anything could happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want me to stop? I'm playing RuneScape.
No, I just hear it when you're like talking.
But despite the somewhat shaky Smash Con he did, like really, he showed like his stuff that he's capable of at his other tournaments, like at Xanadu. So
Definitely.
Yeah, super impressive year though. I think he might be a little disappointing in the number of his ranking this year because I think he knows he's capable of cracking that top 20. Because there's a few sets like in the loss column that, like you guys said, were under some kind of odd circumstances, and other ones that were legit, but they were so close to being a dub that it could have gone his way. One like early in the year, at Oceanfront, he was very close to beating Josh Brody, and I think in winners finals maybe, but I think Josh just kind of clutched it out on him. But it was a good set to watch.
Very scary player to see in your bracket path.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah,
You have to be really, really on it. Very aware of just kind of a combination of just really, really strong punish game. His cheese is incredibly strong because it just happens so fast. Sometimes you're not ready for it, and
Deep bag of tricks.
yeah,
yeah. Like
and the tricks aren't just like, oh, he hit me and reset neutral. It's like, oh, I got hit by this and he zeroed to death me off of it because I wasn't ready. So
Lightning fast gameplay.
Caleb has some of the best like up tilts with Pika, like out of like most players. Can we talk about that? Like,
yeah,
up tilts
I mean,
in general with Kirby too.
Yeah, they're nuts, and like just like obviously he might have a little more control just being on keyboard, but he's just so smart with them. And if he like catches your jump, then you're DIing so hard away. Oh, he pivoted, still catching you.
He
Like,
gets the top speed of his aerial drift sooner than analog
Still
players.
Baby Caleb. Sorry, with the grab.
And his timing of when he's hitting you is so refined. So he's combining like the benefits of the speed of keyboard with like very fine timing, and that's part of what makes his punish game so explosive and so deadly.
yeah,
Also, being an OG, he's been playing for years.
he has.
Yeah, he's been
still
playing
young,
longer
too.
than me. He started playing when he was like 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
he was actually baby Caleb for a little bit, you know.
Yeah. He's got like the competitive edge where he's been like playing the tough sets for a while, so he knows how to do it. He doesn't get nervous, I don't think, unless it's
No,
like a
not
really
really.
big game, right? Like
He's one of the most
He's
like
very
relaxed looking players I've seen play. He'll just
Yeah.
have his leg like crossed, keyboard on top of the crossed
Yeah.
leg.
ear in hand,
Just
cinnamon
looks
roll
like
in
he's
hand.
yeah.
It's like it's true. It's true. He's always has a couple beers in him.
Police behind him. He's
Yeah,
fine.
ready to go. It's like, yo, officer, let me finish this set first.
Officer, best of 3? Freedom match? Freedom match?
Freedom match. Double or nothing the bail. Best of 5.
Make him sound like a fucking felon. He
The
did not
hotel
get
did
arrested.
do him dirty though, but I'm
Yeah,
glad
it's-
nothing happened. That's so
Yeah,
funny. Though.
it's
I wish
just-
I was there because or I don't wish I was there because I would have been right with him eating cinnamon rolls like a fucking moron,
Yeah.
not
Just the
realizing
image,
the consequences of that.
the image of Arkma entering the hotel room with just like leaves in his hair. It's just still so funny. After running in the forest to go talk to him and like calm
Oh
him
my
down.
god.
Oh man. Arkma's a legend for that.
Bro, Arkma's a legend, period.
Yeah, true.
Like, you know what he did at Skies Fest.
We won't get into that. But I think probably enough about Caleb. I think we can move on to Robert here, who maybe skill wise is probably the most underrated person we've seen so far. I would say anyways. But a very limited year, kind of locking in at Frame and Boba tournament, so not much travel out of region. So people who traveled there had the pleasure of either meeting him in
Robert beat
finals or
83?
getting washed.
That was
That
December
was last
of
year?
the previous year. Yeah, that was
Ah,
Tigers,
fuck.
Crouching
So what
Tigers.
is that?
or
Just in
whatever.
limbo?
No, that was the previous ranking period.
Ah, rip.
Yeah.
But that was a good set. That shit was awesome.
Yeah, I would like to say, fuck Robert for making our job so hard the 2 years in a row. Great player to talk to Smash about and to play with, but hell of a person to rank.
He had like some of the widest like variances with the panelists when it came time to rank him.
You just gotta omit him if he's fucking around.
He didn't fuck around though. He
He
just didn't
did
go to
Not this year,
round
not
one.
this year. Last year he did. Last year he did.
True.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah. You can't take it. It doesn't like it messes with the rankings essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
Especially at a big
compromises
tournament
the
like
integrity
SSC.
of the rankings.
Yeah.
SSC was trying.
Yeah, I mean, like the
But it
only
was
one
Puff,
really
wasn't
was. Well, he
Yeah.
was like trying to go forward with Puff. He wasn't like trying to lose really. At
And then
Apex, is a
Xanadu
different
was
story.
or Apex, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, look what he said. Look what he said. He ranked higher last year when he was playing Puff.
It was easier last year. People are not. They hadn't returned back to form. People weren't as hungry. Dude, the level. I'm very proud of NA overall.
Man,
Not
I
just in
stayed the
2022,
same
but
rank 2
2023.
years in a row. What do you mean? It was the
Same,
same
brother.
shit.
But
I
you-
stayed the
but you
same.
guys-
rank.
But it was you
Yeah,
guys got
EPAC
better.
plays exactly the same. He added one angle to his repertoire and just called it a day.
You guys all played way more Smash too. You realize that, right? Like
No,
you
I
literally
did not.
practiced more.
No,
Yes,
hell
you
no.
did. Yes, you did. Leading
No, I
up to the
didn't,
tournament,
bro.
leading up to the tournaments that you actually ranked for, minus Smash Overfest, which you only went to 2 things. It was all that culmination of the previous year practice.
No,
going
you
into
have
that.
no idea. I didn't play at all this like last year.
That's just not true, bro. I've seen you in the VC constantly. You're
Yeah,
full
but-
of shit. You're full of
But
shit.
that's not like. All right. Anyways, let's move.
Anyway, Robert here.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah,
think
so
like
I think Revan's still a very, very strong win.
he is. Yeah.
It's kind of argued where he would be ranked if he traveled a little more, but he himself opted out, didn't really want to give competing too much of a try this year, but
That
2-1
set I
against
watched
Revan's
in
quite
person,
strong.
and it was a very competitive set.
Yeah.
Those Revan
Both
sets
of them.
were wild.
Both of them were
They
awesome.
Were there not 3? Why does he have? Did Revan come again? Why is there 3? There's 2 wins and 2.
He lost to him
losses.
in winners
One in
finals.
pools. One in pools.
No, it was one in winners finals, and then Robert
Oh, and it
came
was a
back
reset.
and
It
beat
was a
him. Yeah,
reset.
Okay, yeah. All those sets were really, really good.
Yeah, the best one was the cutter finish, bro. I lost my mind. That shit
Those
they
was
both
recorded?
force
awesome.
knocked each other in the same set too.
That's
That was
insane. It's
I
so
don't usually like to
crazy.
watch grand finals. It's kind of like the lamest set of the. Unless I don't know. It's more me just being low energy after I lose because I never make it to grand finals. But that one I was locked in.
That must suck. I can't relate to that.
Yeah, I mean, like it was like the SmashCon
Max.
Grands last time. That was I was dialed in for that. You know.
No, that's different though. That's different.
Yeah.
You know, after a tournament, your energy goes like pretty
But
low.
like Robert kept it very consistent throughout like the last tier of players, like basically like not losing to any of them really. Like has 3 wins on ETAB, EPAD, 4 wins on Waxy Joe. Like, why don't you tell us about that, Waxy?
Robert fucks me up. I had one set that I could have possibly won, but other than that, it was never necessarily close.
That was
Robert's
pretty
just
high.
good.
That was pretty hype, the one that you could have won.
Yeah, I
won
did
that
watch
one too,
that one.
yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty hype. Yeah.
Yeah, it was close, but no cigar.
No
You know,
fucking cigar,
maybe
No
buddy.
this year,
cigar.
maybe I'll take my first set off Robert, but he is goddamn good at this game, man.
I'll
Well-
bet you $20 from now on every set you play him that Robert wins.
I don't want to put $20 in that.
He's never beat Robert. Why would he take
Yeah,
that?
why would I would want like 10-1 odds.
You gotta keep in mind that not only is Robert like super cerebral player, but he was maining Puff for like over a year. So the fact that Waxy could take him that close in a bad matchup, the character that he knows how to play
He
at
didn't
both
play Puff.
sides. No,
It
I'm
was-
saying
Oh,
Robert
you're
used to
talking.
play Puff.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really impressive that he even got that close.
Yeah, maybe next time. But yeah, Robert's good. He just knows where to be at all times. Like, I don't know, he just knows where to stand in good positions and then just up tilt or up
It's
airman.
called spacing.
Yeah, he's
He's
really
kinda-
good at it.
He's really like suffocating too in some matches.
He also
really
just
hard to
knows
play
where to put his
against.
hitboxes.
Yeah,
he has good hitbox placement.
Yeah,
if
for
you
sure.
like, if you beat Robert in games, you feel like you earned it. You know.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, phenomenal player. Wish he went to more stuff that had more variance of players.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
to see him do his stuff to more people than just the Northeast Rochester crew and all that, and also to make him way easier to rank because for purely selfish reasons as a panelist.
Should we have EPAD talk about Antoine since Antoine joined the chat and EPAD wasn't here for discussion?
Oh, yeah, EPAD wasn't here for my discussion either. Like, does he have anything to say about either me or Antoine?
I don't know.
You're both trash.
There you go. All right. So on to tacos.
Oh, if you want to talk about a real OG player like Tacos, like right here.
Yeah. Since what, like 2013, 2012?
2014 was his first tournament. It was like Apex. 2014, that was his first tournament.
Yeah, that was a wild.
He was
run for him.
playing online before that, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think it was
Also-
limited, but I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
There's no way he didn't.
I mean, he wasn't seeded at that tournament. Like, he was like an unknown pretty much.
At Apex?
Yeah, like that tournament, he was like, I don't know, he played like Isaiah like the third round of like pools or whatever. You know, he wasn't a seeded player at that time.
Oh, that's crazy. I did not know that.
I think it was one of those things. Some of the players are kind of in the know of like how good he was at the time, but he had like a really wild losers run, if I recall, way back when.
Oh
I'd
yeah,
have to
for
look at
sure.
it though. But yeah, these wins, Jaime looking especially super strong this year, and just like
Yeah.
very good volume otherwise. I think Waxy gave us some insight on their set yesterday, but other than that is like losing to what losses, worst loss 31st this year, and the rest just in this range or better. So really
Yeah,
really
that's-
strong
that's a-
score.
That's a really bad first loss there.
Shut the fuck up.
The Jaime win's really impressive, especially considering he like lost to him in the previous Smash Con before that. So it's nice to see him kind of come back on that a bit.
Yeah.
You know, Tacos, I always feel like whenever I sort of see him play, like it always feels like he's like still kind of playing the same way as he has for all these years, you know? And he's still like, you know, kept up like a pretty high level play, but
Results.
I think
yeah.
just like, but it's just like, you know, a lot of people have caught up to him at this point, so that's why it's kind of harder for him to. Because I mean, there was a point where he was getting like top 3 at like almost every tournament he was like going to back in the day. So
Man, we should get him in TDC. You'll learn real quick.
I think he's trying to play flamenco guitar with his mariachi band and shit. He is so insanely good at guitar. I don't know.
Oh,
if you
so
guys
this
know
isn't
what
his
it is.
main thing.
Nah,
Yeah, like he really only plays at SmashCon now. Like he doesn't really play much besides that.
yeah, no, yeah, for
Good
sure.
for him.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just showing up once, twice a year, and
Doing that well.
yeah,
Yeah, I think he's gone like I mean, besides like the very first SmashCon, I think he's gone 17th at every SmashCon he's been to.
Yeah, you need those kind of guys.
Wild,
They're like
dude.
crazy wild cards. Like it's
I'm pretty
like
sure like
people won't want to
besides
play against them. Sorry, Chris.
besides the first one 2015 where he got like top 3, like I think every single SmashCon after that he got like 17th.
yeah, he's wild.
He got 13th this year.
Oh, was it 13th? Oh, like my
Yeah.
bad.
He got 13th like last
Like,
year.
He tied with me.
Damn.
Who eliminated him? Was it Maha?
Yeah,
I think it
Maha.
was Maha, yeah.
Okay,
The kid's cracked.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
super
no,
cracked.
I mean he's put in so much time and effort over the years. Like it doesn't matter if he takes a break. Like as long as he can de-rust before turning
Yeah,
time.
so
like,
He's got to
he
be a
fi-
console player.
He finally
Yeah.
beat the 17th curse then, so that's good to see.
Yeah, a lot of these players, I feel like, as long as they kind of show up early to SmashCon and give like a day or two of diligent practice, they're kind of good to go.
Playing the right players.
It's probably like hard pressed that they'll exceed, that barrier without more practice, but it just really speaks to their skill level. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
Jaime and Frey are like players that are constantly improving too. So those ones look super impressive,
Yeah,
regardless.
the fact that he's still able to keep up despite that, like even though like there's a lot of players who have caught up to his skill now, like it's still pretty impressive he's still able to put in the work.
even
at
more
SmashCon.
impressive that Waxy Joe beat him.
You know, he beat Wangera in 2018. Just want to put that out there.
That
Couldn't
is
beat
true.
Waxy,
That is
though.
true.
Couldn't beat Waxy.
Was it DK Puff?
It was DK Puff game 1 and then Pika Puff for game 2 and 3.
Wow.
He tried.
damn.
He tried. I
Yeah,
remember that set.
he must not like the Yoshi matchup then.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Good observation.
I also just clutched up on this man too, like really hard.
Did you mention? I think you said yesterday. Actually, you mentioned like you told him that you just beat Take like right before you played tacos.
Yeah,
You're just,
yeah.
you might have got him spooked.
Yeah,
I really wish-
honestly, I like Yoshi matchup usually. So like, I was expecting to see either Yoshi or DK.
Bro,
He
Andy
told
was
me right before I
clapping you
set
up.
that JPX told him to go DK against me.
Wow.
Damn.
So I don't know. I mean, it ended up working out in my favor, so I don't care.
I wish
Was
you
it-
would yell clutch box after a win against somebody. It would be so fucking funny if you just like screamed it.
Yeah, I was down 2 stocks to 1, had 120%. Killed him with the rest off the top, and then just nared him, grabbed him, and killed him again. And I just clutched it so hard.
Man, we gotta
Yo.
ban this character, bro.
Yo, Waxy, like continue on what Dog said. If you do that, you can get a really big trending clip with those Hungry Box fans.
I don't want
So
anything to
funny.
do with those Hungry Box
You'd be
fans.
so-
You would still get lots of interaction, right? And get the 64. Like it could be beneficial. Maybe something you can think about.
What benefits do I get from having a Twitter video have 300 views?
No, but if you tag Hungry Box, it could get thousands.
What
you
do
do,
I
like,
get
a
off
good
of that? Do I
clutch?
get a fraction of a penny off that? I don't play Smash for the fame like you know? All the money and fame that comes with it, that's not what I'm here for.
The money, the women.
It's just for more
just-
people.
Yeah, the
the
money.
money for more people to look at Smash. That's
yeah.
what you
I
would
mean,
get.
okay, yeah. If that's the end goal, I'm okay with that. Maybe I'll do that.
Can orchestrate something.
I feel like he's got
It's
very
good
limited
motivation,
list
Andy,
though
man.
for tacos. Very small like list going on. I feel like we pretty much covered this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like he's
Sad about
We'll
this
probably-
box win, but
we'll
Maybe
probably be
another.
kind of we'll probably be stuck in this kind of tier of players as long as he kind of only goes to SmashCon. But it's still like a good tier of players. So
No,
I
man,
think
go
it's
higher.
like a good.
Go higher.
He's like a landmark for how good the rest of the field has gotten, because I think he's not any worse.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like, like it feels like he's playing about the same as he always has, but just so many people have caught up to him at this point.
But he
And he was
wins doubles
such a-
too. He won doubles.
He's such a legendary. He likes doubles way more. Like, I don't know if you know this, but he cares about doubles like 10 times more.
Yeah.
And he's
I just
fucking
think that's a
god.
good indicator of how good he is.
Oh, they're different, but
Like,
yeah,
he can get
this-
to the 17
go.
rank if he plays hot a little bit. You know, like 18, 15 maybe.
He could.
I think so. Might be wrong.
I think so. I think
It's a couple
you're
good
right.
wins. But I've seen him in action. That kid is actually cracked.
Well, I mean, his previous rankings, like he's gotten to like, let's see, the 2018 rankings, he was sixth. He was sixth.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah,
that goes
so
to show
close.
how much better people have gotten since
Yeah.
then.
Like during his like prime, so to speak, like he was like on the same level as like Kiro was, basically, like almost exactly the same kind of level. But now you see like, just a lot of players have gotten better at this point.
Can you scroll up a little bit to his losses for like 1 second?
Whose losses? Tacos?
Tacos, yeah. All right. Let's move on to Mr. Kicks.
Kicks, another Japanese player only going to SmashCon.
That fucks up half of NA.
Yeah, and again, like similar with Take, another KD3 win and another natty loss.
Yo, playstyles are wild. That's so funny.
I mean, like, again, like good on Natty for being able to beat them, if anything, honestly. Like, I feel like Kicks, out of all the Japanese players who came to this SmashCon, was probably the overall least known. Like how compared to everyone else who came.
Dude.
Like
Kicks has been well known for years.
I mean compared to like the rest of the people who came. Like Maha, like Take, like and obviously like Kyoshiki and Kuraba, like everyone knows them.
Yeah.
But like this was Kicks' first time going to SmashCon, so like it's a bit less certain how he's gonna do.
You sure?
Yeah, this is his first
Yeah.
SmashCon.
But he places very well in Japan, right?
Yeah, he
Well,
does.
yeah, for sure.
He's
He's
kind of
played a
like in
while.
that
Demigod.
yeah, like
he's
you got
not with like
your
Kuraba or KYSK, but he's
Kuraba,
just
Kyosuke,
under.
Wario, then like your Maha and maybe a couple others, and then it's like Kicks right below.
Yeah.
So,
he's in like the second tier, you know?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Maybe third if you dig deep, but he's really close to second. He's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, with these results, like it's pretty apparent just how good he is.
And how good Natty is.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And Kicks was a Pika main, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Really good upbeats, really good escapes.
He rolled our pool. He was very good at like cornering once you're on the ledge when I played him against him. Just solid enough punish game and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to point out though that in that pool, Hooded did take a game off Kicks, so gotta shout out that.
Yeah, he did.
It was
Hooded
3-1.
Hood pretty cracked.
It was 2-1.
2-1. It was all best
no
of 3
flex?
in D2. All best of 3.
Flex should be a thing. I'm gonna say it.
I don't like flex.
SmashCon, there's
I
not
love
as much time. There's not as much time.
I'd
I mean,
rather
they
do
did-
best
they
of 3
did-
or best of 5 personally.
They-
I just don't like flex because it just makes the first game way more important than a best of 3 or a best of 5.
No,
they
I
did
don't
flex.
think it does.
Yes,
they
it
did
does.
flex
If you
for-
lose the first one, you have to win. Like you have to win 3 instead of just 2.
But that's true for any best of 5. So
Yeah.
that argument only applies to if
Yeah,
you
so
want
it'd rather be
versus
best of 3 or best of 5 because
No,
it
because
just
because the two
I just don't
O's
like it.
eliminate the really separated players, but the players who win a game, you get that extra 5 minutes, 4 minutes, where you can, which is one game, is what I'm saying. So it
Yeah.
gives you that extra edge. But like the two O's, they hurry on. So the matches that aren't close, they continue or they end. But the ones that matter get that extra juice, you know?
Flex favors those who are more adaptable. So if you feel like maybe you're somebody who does better if you put in a lot of prep before tournament and you make less adjustments in the middle of tournament. You probably don't like flex, but if you're not, then you probably like flex. That's why I look at it.
I just like the fact that like if you're taking a game off the guy, maybe you get the extra respect of the game 4. So if you can't take a game out of 2, then well,
Yeah, I just think it's Smash kind of was mostly like a time issue. So because they did flex for D1, but that was it pretty
Yeah.
much.
should get D2 too, but one day maybe.
One day if they start at 8 a.m., you know.
No,
What
it's
about
4
what
minutes,
about
maybe 2-3 times in a pool.
how about Smash Hunt does ladder with flex, best of 7?
Okay, guys.
How about first to 5s ladder?
Dude, flex
just
for
do-
the entire flex for the entire tournament, just like Arizona. Let's go.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of ladder. It's just we don't have a good way to implement it, and it's too easy to cheese. So
Yeah.
You can actually cheat in
shit.
ladder.
All right. Let's not get away from the topic.
You can, but
it's true. It's true, but Hero Pie. I love this guy. This guy's chill as hell. You guys get a chance to have a chat with Hero Pie, I strongly suggest it because he is very fun to talk to and very down to earth guy.
not too much. He just super fucked me up. Probably I think he probably beat me the worst out of anyone all year, except for like maybe my 0 set in the same pool. But Hero Pie is incredibly strong.
Ooh, Hammerheart, Janko. That's pretty good.
That's really good. Like Jenko's a strong win, and Hammerheart's like one of those. Like you're obvious. I feel like he's another skill wise player. Hero Pie might be a little underrated here. I think it felt like he underperformed a couple times at a few tournaments. But he was really only losing to like our demigod kind of range outside of Antoine.
Yeah, that first loss is pretty bad.
Very, very consistent player.
Yeah, I played Hero Pie a lot at Battle of the Border. Like I played him twice in tournament, and I played a lot of friendlies with him. And yeah, he's just a super good player. Obviously, like he doesn't really give you much for free. Like in neutral, like he's just like super, like yeah, very good spacing. Like it's kind of like what you mentioned, I think, Andy, about G-Man. Just doesn't really give you much for free. You know?
Yeah, their defense is so strong, man. It's like you really have to almost pick them apart or just find I don't know. It's hard to like find those openings against them that other players might be a little more lackadaisical on, you know.
Yeah. 'Cause I did way better in the second set when I played against Hero Pie at that tournament. Like, 'cause I realized like when I had more time to like sort of look at what he was doing, obviously. But even still, he like beat me anyway. But he's a very skilled Pika player.
It was really fun to watch him play against Josh Brody too. They had really entertaining sets. At least the first one, and then the Jenko set was incredibly close as well. Like that could have gone either way.
Yeah, it felt like Jenko, like watching that set, it felt like Jenko was really in control most of the time, but Hero Pie just really tightened up when it mattered, I think. And I don't know, he just he really locked in. It looked like that was an awesome set to watch. How'd your set go with them dogs? Did you guys play at Battle at the Border?
Yeah, that was kind of fucked. During the first game, first stock, he like hit me with like a up tilt on side plat and like back through me, and then the TV turned off. Somebody like tripped over the
I remember it.
cord.
I remember
the
that.
cord,
Yeah.
and it got unplugged. And I had like upbeat
That's
and
so
paused or
bad.
something, and I was back. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, that sucks. Like, what do you want to do? And he's like, oh, we can just restart. I was like, you should at least get the percent. The 16% against Falcon can actually make a difference. But like that could have easily been a stock, right? And that could have set the pace for the match. It was still best of 3. It was flex best of 3. So like that, I felt really bad about that. But I mean, I think in general, the overall structure of the set would have looked the same because it quickly turned into an extreme spacing battle, incredibly patient spacing battle where Janitor said like there was like a stretch of like 90 seconds where both of us were just barely not hitting each other, and it wasn't that we were necessarily camping. Like he was like more in the corner, but like that's just the position you should play at in the matchup most of the time. Um, it was just like we were trying to find that tiniest opening possible, like we were talking about before. But over time, I started getting more comfortable with approaching him in the corner, starting to call out his landings a little bit better using Falcon speed, and I think the second game was like a 2 stock or something. I don't know. I think I would like to play him again without any doubt about the beginning, because I hate when stuff like that happens. Something like that happened similar to KD3 the first time we played. KD3 says it's still the weirdest set he's ever played to date.
The IRL desync.
Yeah, I remember watching that set at Battle of the Border. Am I allowed to like dox people on like who like unplugged the cord for the
No,
TV?
don't do that. Don't do that.
Actually, Chris, I'm interested. I don't want to hear the name, but who, like, what set was that? I just got back. Sorry. What set was this? This is interesting.
It was Dogs versus Hero Pie, and like
Oh,
somebody
buddy,
unplugged
even
like
juicier.
somebody like unplugged the TV during the first stock. So yeah,
First stock
But-
of game 1.
yeah.
I was getting actively back thrown.
So the worst case scenario, you'd be down 1 stock
Yeah.
in game 1.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's
Okay, not
interesting
that
hearing.
big, not that big, but
It's interesting hearing that from you, Dogs. 'Cause I basically felt like the same way when I played Hero Pie. Like it was just like an extreme spacing battle, just like both of us barely not hitting each other.
Yeah,
Like
he's
not
very
necessarily
patient.
like there'd be like times where just like we would not hit each other for like 90 seconds or whatever. Like, but I mean, you're better at spacing than me, so I wasn't able to clutch out versus him. But it felt like that when I played him.
damn.
Yeah, I have a few couple side stories of TVs turning off that I
Man,
still
it's
remember.
it's only had like really bad things have only happened to me twice. Like I had a one set at Apex that it was like a loser set that the TV froze,
Yeah,
but me and the competitor just reset the game and got ourselves to the percentage and continued. That's all we did. And the other one, it was like a person bumping me in the middle of a set, and I just shrugged it off.
nice.
So luckily, I don't have that bad experiences, but some people have.
At there was a indie tournament. I think it was Outfoxed, and I played like a player Walker of Sky, and he, he was up like 3 stocks to 1 on me, and I'm pretty sure that there was just like a power surge and the TV just shut off, and he was a TO, so I was like, what do you want to do? And he's like, well, we're supposed to just replay the whole set.
No,
I was like,
dude.
replay the game, and I was like, all right, and then like 3
You
stocks
see-
after.
Nah.
It felt
Dude,
really dirty.
I
but-
don't remember that being a thing. I don't know why he said that.
But like he
Oh.
kind of walked into it. Like, why did he do that? I would at least pushed for like
No,
the
if
same
I was,
stock,
yeah, I didn't fight back on any of it clearly,
Yeah.
but
I'll be honorable.
Like if you're down that much and you like push for the reset, I would just like I don't know, go Super Saiyan essentially. Like I'd be so mad where I would
Yeah.
just destroy anyone in my path if they like did some whack shit like that.
yeah.
You're down 3-1, but like, man, just replay the game, Like hell no.
Dude, that's some
It
shit.
wasn't
That's
me.
some shit you would do, bro. That's some shit you
wasn't
would
me,
fucking
it's
say.
like
I
this
would
and
never,
that.
dude. No way.
Yes, you would. You fucking grind.
No, I'm all honor, dude. No way.
Fucking hell no, you're not. What a fucking lie.
What do you mean? I would
Anyway.
always accept the
Anyway.
loss. Yeah, okay, let's
move
keep
on.
it.
Let's move on. This is the fucking goat of the scene here.
The goat.
Oh, Frey, yeah.
He's a cheater.
He's a beef-like figure in terms of like everyone loves him. Like nobody's got beef with Frey.
Man,
I was
Frey's
so
the-
happy.
I have
I was
beef
so
with
happy.
I
I
got
was
beef
so,
with Frey. I got smoke with Frey.
I was so happy he came to Crovy Fest. It was great, like hanging out with him there. Yeah,
Same.
super nice guy.
He plays everyone at like the highest, almost like the highest level. Like he is a true 12 CB master, and he whips out a lot of characters in tournament.
Yeah, he might be one of. I mean, he probably is like maybe a top 5 North American 12 CB
100%. It's
player.
Isaiah, Boom, probably Kiro, Jaime, and Frey.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right.
Jaime is even better. It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's-
that's who I would put for the top 5.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think people may be knocking on the door. I feel like SKG is pretty strong in 12 CB.
Back in the day, tacos would have been up there for 12 CBs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stranded's probably like
Stranded
6.
when he cares, right?
Yeah. But anyway,
But
mainly
anyway.
played the Ness. Mainly played the Ness and the Falcon. I don't know if he played any Pika or Kirby. Wouldn't surprise me if he played like 1 or 2 games with those. But mainly Ness and Falcon.
He did play a couple sets with Kirby at SmashCon. I know that for sure, which was kind of surprising to see because like there was, like, I guess it just shows there were quite a few people putting him down to the wire that where he felt like he needed to do that. Like versus KO Kenny, like it was like 1-1 in game count and he whipped out the Kirby versus him. Like so that was kind of surprising to see.
See,
Or like
these
it
are-
was
these
game
are some
2.
good
Yeah.
wins.
I think it was like he lost the first game versus KO Ken and then like he switched to Kirby for the rest of it. I think.
Yeah, I know
Ooh, he lost to the Yid.
used-
Legend.
Yeah, the Yid. Yeah, I mean, I watched that set. Like, I mean, you know, it's like Yid played super well that set. I gotta
Was
say.
that the Division 2 at Keystone?
No, that was SmashCon.
SmashCon?
Whoa!
Frey went
That's
to
actually crazy.
just Crovy Fest, like a small Michigan tournament, and SmashCon, I think.
Yeah.
And I think the Michigan tournament was omitted from here, but he had pretty good wins there too.
All right, let's see the 20-11.
Okay, here it is. Oh, yeah.
Computer exploded.
Spoiler free,
Oh
my guy.
no!
Oh man.
Flavor free.
Yeah. Can you tell us about some of your sets with them dogs? Were they both at Crovy Fest?
Yeah, that was the first one might have been a best of 3, maybe not.
It was best of 5. The first one was best of 5.
Okay, so they were both best of 5. It was a back and forth of me going Falcon against this Ness, and then him switching to me switching to Pika, or like it was like Falcon Dittos or Pika Falcon, like his Falcon, and then like my Pika his Ness, and like my Pika would give him the hands, and then he would give me the hands, my Falcon the hands, and he just edged me out, and just super solid gameplay from him. And then when I came back, my Pika tightened up a lot, and I was able to beat his Falcon with the Pika, and the Ness was going worse against my Pika. Just kind of, it's just kind of the matchup. Like when you're starting to get to this level of play, the tier list really shows itself, So I think there just wasn't. Obviously, he was still making some mistakes and stuff. Like it's hard to play such a techie character like perfectly the whole time. But it was about kind of how our games go in like friendlies, at least with the Nest stuff. And I think just tournament and experience compared to me. I think we're very comparable in like overall skill outside of tournament. I think that Frey is slightly better. But when it comes to tournament play, it's just a different game. So
Yeah, when I played versus Frey at Crovy Fest, like I had like a close. I was really hoping I could pull off like the double win versus him, like how I beat him like the year before. So I was hoping I could pull it off again, but wasn't quite tuned in with the Pika at that point in the tournament. So I felt pressured, and I tried Kirby the last game, and didn't quite work out for me, but it was still close. I think it's like that was a set where he did whip out the Falcon versus me as well. Like I took the first game off his Ness with Pika, and then he counterpicked me with Falcon, and he just said like sorry, like as soon as he counterpicked me, and then like uh when I tried the Kirby versus him in the last game of that set, like I just sort of like threw it back and I was like, oh sorry man.
Yeah, that was did you we talked about it when we were doing rankings, but I don't think the people know about like the sorry man, like the sorry back and forth. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah,
Canadian, sorry.
yeah, we both. Yeah, I mean, we're both like that. But I love playing Frey whenever we get to. He's always fun, and our games are typically pretty close. At least like when we're going kind of our main characters. Uh, but yeah, he's definitely like as far as a lot of these other players go. Like in this tier, he's one of the most like overall skilled players. But like what Dog said, not as much tournament experience. So I think that's why he's kind of here instead of like the next tier of players, I guess.
Yeah, I think maybe like it probably just would have taken him going to a couple more tournaments and maybe he gets there. Because I imagine some of these losses, if he ran into them again, he might have a better shot. But because I think I would say like Brody, at least Brody and Jaime are both players that he could definitely beat. And his set with Karaba was incredibly close as well.
That was insane, yeah.
2 years straight. Very close. Probably one of the best sets of the year, honestly.
I would say it was definitely closer this year than it was the year before.
Yeah, for sure.
But the adjustment one from him was like very great, like going from, I mean, I think he got like 4 stock the first game. Like I think he hit him once. And
yeah, and it's probably
like,
off of like an armor. Like
yeah,
it was a
and,
very
like,
convincing game one.
yeah,
And
but Frey really adjusted super well, like his style of play. Like so, he took game 2 and 3, I believe. Like he played a lot more patient than what you would normally see from him, which was really good to see.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, talk about mental fortitude to like at the time getting 4 stock by the best player in the world and being able to force a game 5 after that. It's really, really impressive.
Yeah. I think from what I remember, he was going for just a lot more like the early grabs versus Yoshi, which you kind of have to do as Ness in that matchup. Like, I think like in the first set they played at the previous SmashCon, he just wasn't really going for the grabs. I felt like, so I kind of like told him like, hey man, you can kill Yoshi super early with the grabs, and so in this more recent set, he was like doing that, and it was paying off for him.
He's remarkably good against like anybody who's not like top 20 as well. Like despite the Yed loss, he went to a tournament in Michigan that was not counted for the rankings, and to my knowledge, kind of gave EG the hands, which is very impressive to me because I feel like EG's like such a good player, and like I saw some of those sets, and it wasn't like a complete blowout or anything, but it was pretty convincing the second set.
Yeah.
Committee, I got a question for you guys.
Of course.
Yeah.
Would counting game count ever come into account in rankings?
So the true skill does take it into account. Most panelists don't, but the fact that it still reflects on like how players are ordered for reference, I think that does matter a little bit.
So it'll be like a variable in the rankings, but
yeah, it's like
super
very small.
if people count at all. So we've
it should be
talked about
counted, I
this.
think.
So we talked about this before, 2 years ago, and I made the case that games are used as tools to win sets, and we crown the champion based off set wins, not game wins.
Yeah.
So games are like you hear like the phrase like game one boom. Like games are used to get information, to win the rest of the set.
Or
and
like
every
also-
game, people are
like
trying to
low
win
in a
every
best
game.
of 5
Come on.
versus a best of 3.
they're trying to win every game, but set wins are more than just the sum of the game count. They're an emergent property.
Yeah,
They're
of
like
course.
something much more important than just
Yeah,
the
obviously it'll be
individual
more
games
important,
themselves.
but just to take like maybe like a 0.1 multiplier
Yeah, I
on
think
something, you know what I mean? Like there's the only reason why I'm asking this is I'm looking at the Smash Tover bracket and I see here She-Man Blonde Kid 2-1.
yeah.
Like
So Frey
should this
makes
kind
it
of
made a
account
good
like
point in chat, and he did bring this up. I guess you said you're gonna bring it up too,
No,
Dogs.
you
but-
got you got it. You got it. You got
Yeah,
it.
he brought it up during discussion that like we should be looking at it because it's used as a tiebreaker in our round robin pools. So it's already reflected in our
true.
like progression and placing in tournament. So we should be looking at it as well.
I think you should
Yeah,
only
'cause-
be making that case if it's in that context, though. I do not think you should value that.
Yeah, because I was about to say like that would apply for like pools, but for like bracket, like that doesn't really factor into much
Yeah.
like outside of that. I mean, like my trying to think, like my set versus dogs was like game 5 set, but that was in brackets, so like the game count didn't really affect much, you know.
see, but it
Yeah,
should
for-
a little bit
like for me personally, I don't think it really adjusted any placings. But if I look like when I look at the fact that Frey or even Supa took Kuraba to game 5, it's like
See,
in the
that
back
means
of
a
my
lot.
head, it's like, well, how many players can even do that? Like, it might not
Yeah.
really change their placing, but it is an accomplishment worth noting.
It's not reflected in the prize pot distribution. Like you don't get a little bit more money because you took 2 games and got third compared to second.
But you guys always say you don't rank on how far you get. It's like a wins loss, right? So progression
Wins and
doesn't really mean
loss
anything.
of sets. Wins and loss of sets specifically. So
No, you say it's wins losses on humans. Like if
wins.
you make it far and you have an easy bracket, essentially, like you don't have any good wins, but you made it to the end.
If they're not good wins, then they're not going to be valued by the panelists very much.
Yeah.
But like we were saying earlier, some panelists do somewhat consider this. Big Red was somebody who was trying to argue to count some game counts 2 years ago. Huntsman said that he valued that as part of like a tiebreaker for people that were super close. He's like, did some of these players take games off like the tippy top players?
Yeah.
So
Like
it's
Andy
not
said,
that
the
that
great
everybody.
example is the Supa Kuraba. That's a great example. If it's not counted for anything,
I don't think it should. That was in pools, so maybe you can make that argument. But for me, I'm gonna just straight up not value that as a panelist.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
that's part of having like, well, we have like 13 or so people. Maybe it's 11, I don't remember, but it's just people are gonna take the data and interpret it in different ways, and overall, that's okay. It wouldn't make sense if like all 13 people viewed all the data exactly the same way. It'd be a lot easier that way, but like then what would be the point of having 13 people in that context?
Yeah, I think it is cool to have and important to have some
Yeah.
subjectivity mixed in with being reflective of objective data points because the community is perceiving all these wins and losses with subjectivity and variance in their viewpoints. So
Yeah.
it should be reflected. The panels should serve as kind of like congress people to reflect what the 64 audience is seeing and observing.
Except we elected ourselves,
Yeah, well, at the beginning, because nobody was fucking doing anything. Nobody was doing anything at all, so somebody had to step up and.
No, someone had to start. And I love what you guys do.
Yeah, I mean, it turned like this year, especially. I think it turned into a product that I think we're all proud of at this point. Not that last year was bad, but we just have a lot more to show for it this year. We have like just the player cards alone. That was so good. God bless Dunk. He came and clutched for us.
Thank you, Dunk.
They're so beautiful, dude. I'm still happy every day when I go on Twitter and look at them. Like I'm so happy.
Shit. It made my weekend so much funnier. It was like the best weekend ever. I was at work, smiling, like refreshing Twitter. Like, all right, who are we gonna laugh at next?
It's
We
just,
can all
it's just-
laugh at.
it's
That's
just
so
so much
funny.
more like it's just so much more like cooler to look at than just like text like in a tweet, you know?
Yeah.
Like
It legitimizes it a lot, and it makes people excited. It makes people want to go to tournaments. It makes people want to try harder. It just revs up community engagement, and like
All
that's
the
what we all
above.
want.
yeah, it's
The,
like, yo,
like,
yeah,
the
for,
Reefy
like,
card alone, just like the engagement that got.
but the
like,
danky one,
Oh,
the danky one.
buddy,
Thank you,
thank
man.
you.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Yeah.
Freudian
But I mean, with
slip.
how cool the picture is, Reefy deserves a shout out too.
How
is
is
a
a Genesis winner 58th?
Yeah.
What? This is ridiculous. 58th, he won Genesis. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shout
Go
out
back
to
to your
No,
fucking
if
melee.
they understood what it meant, like, bro, he'd just be OJ. That was it. Then like,
Yeah, like honestly, like, I mean,
no,
like with
don't
us,
do OJ like that.
with
No.
us, it was more like in our circle, it was more like kind of like a meme that he won Genesis. Like we're just kind of like, you know, like, oh, let's go, you know. But like, I guess in the outside circle, it's just like, what? Like, how could they be ranked so low? They won Genesis. It's like the tournament.
we'll send him back in time in
Yeah, back
2015.
2016. Like, sure, that it was the tournament then, but
Well, no, we're gonna send him back in time to play Wario and Grants and
Oh,
play
yeah.
some Boom.
Oh shit.
yeah. Boom wasn't able to do it, so
Danky
maybe Danky can, you know.
Yeah.
I just love OJ at 44th and then at second at Genesis. I hope some melee saw that after and just like got triggered.
Just
I hope that
tilted him,
triggered
yeah.
the
Yeah. Be like, you guys, like, it's right here in front of you. Like, how dense are you?
shit. But no, like, yeah, that must feel still fucking so good to get a first place Genesis trophy. Like, even so, like, I would be stoked.
I mean, I think that's why they're still like the Seattle guys are still going to Genesis just to like get the trophy, man.
Just to farm it up.
This money, dude, you farm those randos, the multi-game randos that go there. Like, Danky walked out with a bag and a first place trophy. Like, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I got.
Yeah, I think that about sums it up for tonight.
I think like the last thing I wanted to mention, this is kind of like a general thing about like this group, and kind of like the last group as well. Like basically, like with just about everyone in this group, they all have at least like one or two like wins on like I guess
Big
what
wins.
what we call like demigod type of wins. You know,
Big
like what
wins, yeah.
people will be seen in like the next tier, pretty much. You know, like.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
They're knocking on the door, so to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah. I mean, we saw some of them.
Krovi's coming up right away.
We saw some of them like in yesterday's as well, but this is like where we consistently kind of saw it, you know, and it really shows just how close everyone is getting in skill now to like where it's at the point where even like near kind of closer to the bottom of the rankings, like, you know, just about anyone can beat anyone potentially, you know.
Not me.
Yeah, you're not beating anyone, dogs.
False.
Shit. Dogs, we'll get to you, man. We'll get to you.
He hasn't played much in
next
in
couple
the
days.
TDC,
We'll find
but
out.
He's still doing
Mhm.
work, so
I
stay
played
tuned.
yesterday.
I mean, Shears did tell me you probably have yourself ranked 3rd overall because he said he.
What? You
That's-
got muted? Oh, I didn't. You got cut off. What did you say? I have myself 3rd overall.
Yeah,
Third overall, 17th place at IncaFest.
because he said that like sure you could probably argue Isaiah and Karaba above, but everyone else kind of hard to prove that, you know.
What? I'm so confused by that.
I don't know. It's just what he was saying today.
Who was saying this?
That was Shears after
I mean,
talked to him
Oh,
about
come on.
him
You can't
coaching,
listen to that guy.
I mean, he's a dogs
it's
is like a
just funny,
god.
man.
He's a god among like all of us, you know. They're like, there's Isaiah and Boom, but I mean, dogs, come on, you know.
And Dogs is probably
Who cares about the rest? Who cares about the rest? Foreign players, who cares? You know.
Never
Dogs
heard
than
of her.
everyone else.
What kind of
Yes.
dog is it?
I mean, it's plural, so there's a few breeds. Is it plural? I don't know.
Dogs.
I would argue I got third at Battle of the Border.
Did you?
Yeah, that did happen, right? Yeah, yeah, you made it to winners.
Yeah.
I was the highest placing American at Inca Fest and Battle of the Border.
Yeah.
What, Division 2 at Inca Fest?
Ninth.
Oh man, if
I'm just kidding.
I got
if only I had
Well,
made
he
it to
got
you,
he
man,
got
I could have.
cheesed. He got day of Peruvian cheesed.
Dude, they are chaotic as fuck over there with their brackets. That was some
Yeah,
shenanigans.
You know, Battle of the Border. If I made it to you, dogs, I don't know if you would have gotten that third, man.
Could someone send me the
Maybe,
link to
maybe.
Battle at the Border bracket? Or Andy, can you pull it up if possible?
Battle by the border. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the last. That was the last big one, but
Basically, yeah.
it kind of has some asterisks by it, you know.
Just with how late it was, but I think
Yeah.
everything kind of played out how it was going to. Maybe Jaime had a buff from being
Yeah, Degen.
Maybe
Degen
Jake
Mario
May,
man.
staying up.
Yeah, pull up that bracket. I
Yeah.
want to see earlier in the bracket though. That's the best part of the
But
tournament.
yeah, like zoom in on that
Look
losers
at-
round 3 match right there.
Chris sucking his own.
You can say what you want about other people not being able to play at night, but I also performed when I had 5-minute heads up at Inca Fest and still beat Josh Brody in the 5th best Peruvian.
Bro, it's like it's kind of biased because
You've
all the
always
tournaments
kind
are
of
in the
been good
morning.
at that stuff though.
So
Yeah.
fuck
Like
him. If you want to play at night, let him
performing
play at night.
under iffy circumstances.
2 hours of sleep, hungover.
Like
Yeah,
not
like-
everyone can do that, but it's
I got
just
that
part of
Mario
adversity.
But I don't
EDC.
really think it helped you guys because you were up all day, so you couldn't just sleep. And
No,
then,
it was kind of miserable for me. But
yeah, it's
like
horrible. It's
like I got
10
out of my
hours.
pool and it's like fuck, I gotta play
Yeah.
Jenko. Fuck.
Run away.
I didn't feel too bad. I felt fine pretty much until like near the end. Like around when I had to play Hero Pie for the second time was kind of when I was starting to feel it a bit.
Oh, look at that! You got a game though. That's good. Some panelists would have counted that for the ranking.
Some panels would've counted
No, that one
yeah.
doesn't matter. Come on. It does a little bit, honestly. He's hard player to beat.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't beat him.
Well, in a game, like
If only,
Bro,
in another
look-
reality, I would have beat him.
look
yeah.
at losers round 3 and winners round 2.
Losers round 3. We got Hero Pie Egg, Sleepy Fox, Krangler,
Huntsman,
Jenko
KD,
Huntsman, KD Sheeman.
And then you got Jaime, Brody, and then Boom and Who up top.
Heide, Brody, Boom, and Dogs Johnson.
Yeah, see, like at this point of the tournament is when you should start counting the wins, like the game wins.
What? No.
What?
No, maybe one before.
Why? That's so arbitrary.
Honestly,
you
this
gotta
tournament is
take
stacked
the
as fuck up.
context of like, oh, like if you win the best of 3 within the best of 5, that's a different set, you know.
Oh my god.
No. I'm just okay.
It
This
could be
tournament was
2-0
really
or
stacked.
1-1.
So
I
then
apologize.
order of game count matters now.
No.
Yeah, we're
I
getting
apologize,
funky
like-
with it next year.
Like I'm looking at the whole bracket here, and these are all insane. They're all ranked.
Yeah.
Dude, the
This
fact
tournament
that
is
these were
fully
all
ranked
3-0 in a row. Dogs over Brody, Boom over Dogs,
Huntsman,
and then just
EG.
Boom just 2 more guys in a
I mean,
row.
it helped for
Boom
the
just
rest of
had
us.
enough, man.
It helped for the rest of us to get out sooner, you know.
I
Yeah.
said Boom for fucking throwing to Jaime that one set because I wanted to get to fucking grands. That
I
was
mean, you could have, man. You could have gotten to Grands through losers.
I was
You think
pissed.
you would have beat Jaime? You
Yes.
could have.
Yes,
Mm,
I've
good
won the
man.
last. I'm pretty sure I won the last 2 sets, and I'm
Yeah,
better on
you
console.
could've,
He's
you
also
could've,
better in
yeah.
console, but I think I got it.
No, absolutely, you could have won that shit for sure.
Have you played as Mario though?
Yes. We played like a bunch.
Dude, I had him last stock both games.
Have you played as Battle
Dude,
of the Border
I
4
warmed-
a.m. Mario?
Yes, no. I literally warmed up his Mario and Pika Mario, and I was tossing him, and then he fucking destroyed Katie and Josh Brody. I lost like a couple games, but I was like significantly winning.
Damn.
They just don't know.
I mean, like with this,
Mario
like
practice.
with this tournament, like with the KD and Josh sets versus Jaime, like I think you like, and Andy, you said this kind of about Xanadu with like Boom Spox. Like with this tournament, you could kind of tell that like for some of these players, it's been like so long since they've had to play a good Mario that you just like forgot how to play.
They probably never played a Mario that good in their lives. Like,
Well, KD and Josh don't play online, so that like really gives them a disadvantage, I think, because there's just they're not playing anybody in person that play like that.
But again, like like
yeah.
you know,
Dude, it's
one
hard to
would have
get
been
good Mario practice regardless. It's
Play
like
Jaime. Play Jaime.
SKG doesn't play often, and Jaime, you're just banking on frames depending on how far away you live. But
like the last time they would have played against a good Mario would have been like years ago against like Caesar or whatever, you know.
yeah,
But it probably helps that I've played Jaime so much, like just in general in that play. And then when console in person, like we warm each other up, so that probably helped me a lot for those few friends. And it was friendly.
yeah.
Not the same as tournament.